Greetings and salutations, as they say. I don't know who they are that ever says that. It's so cliche I would never be caught dead saying that. But that's what they say to say. So say la vie. My name is Dr. Bruce Schmidtke, and I am going to be your Literature 635 professor. This is the video introduction to the classroom. Let me turn my techno music down here. Okay. This is an introduction to the course. I want to introduce first myself. I'm Dr. Bruce Schmidtke. I want to talk about what we're going to be discussing in the class, what sort of material we're going to cover, what sort of themes. Do you students know what I mean by themes? Now, this is a graduate course. We're going to be expecting a little more of you than when you were undergrad. I am, again, professor of literature here at the local university in Nashville. I have been a professor here, tenured for 17 years. I have several degrees. In fact, some of my best students have joked that I'm like 98 degrees. And of course, that means like the Cute Boy Band. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but they was popular a few years ago, and now it's kind of out. But I still think they're just dreamy. Well, let's lighten the mood a little bit. And if you have your New Age crystals, I would like everybody in class. I'm going to pass these out. Everybody grab it, okay? And we're going to just do a little lick because it's a salt crystal. And what that does now is that clears everything of bad vibes. I don't know if you people know about that, but this is the Bible Belt, so we don't talk about bad vibes. Shh, keep it quiet. It's bad vibes. It's bad vibes to talk about bad vibes. Shh. Now, let's lighten the mood. If you got them, smoke them. And first of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I just love Renaissance festivals. But not just Renaissance festivals. I read that they now have an Egypt festival here. And I am all into Egypt. I consider myself even sort of just in my dreams a little bit of a pharaoh. I don't know if you know who Pharaoh was. But I picked up this great book on it, and this Egypt man here just has such a beautiful eyes. He's got two, and I was at this Egypt festival, and I said, "Give me one of them Egypt eyes." And they said, "What are you talking about, Egypt?" And I said, "You know, with the looks like you got big, mascaras coming down and eyeliners." And I said, "That's just so cute. Give me one of them." And I got one of them boys. He took me aside, and he gave me Egypt eye, and I just thought that's so cute, so I left it on there. And it was just so much fun. Boys were running around everywhere with that mummy stuff that they wrap you in. These boys were trying to wrap me up in that mummy stuff. I said, "Ooh, don't wrap me in that mummy stuff. That's creepy. Don't you just think it's creepy?" So I added this as kind of, it gives me a little bit of a mystique. It's sort of, it gives me this air, if you will. So, like I said, I just love literature. But before we get into this, I know that now that you're college students, you're going to be tempted to do a lot of things. You're going to be tempted to do things that, well, in the college life might seem normal, but you don't have to. Now, when I was younger, I experimented with lots of drugs. But what I did to help you students, and I'm still part of the DARE program here. We still have the DARE program at the State University here. And so I did a Picasso rendering. Okay, do you know who Picasso is, you students? I did a Picasso rendering of my own, of Aristotle. And what Aristotle is doing is he's trying to teach you something about doing drugs. And so, here's my Picasso rendering. And Aristotle says, say no to substance abuse. I don't know if you know about Aristotle's philosophy, but he talks a lot about substance and accidents. And so, this is just something I want you to think about. Say no to substance abuse. Another way it could be put is, substance abuse isn't accidental. Because if you know about Aristotle, it's substance and accidents and all that fun thing. Now, what we're going to be doing, but before I get into that, I just want to tell y'all about a dream I had. And I was talking to my psychic, and I said, I just had this weird dream. Carl Jung just popped into my dream, but I didn't know what to do with that because, of course, Carl Jung, he explains all these dreams and gives all these elaborate, just sort of deep messages in the dreams. But what does it mean when Carl Jung comes into your dream? I mean, and he was there and he was smoking, and I just didn't know I didn't know if he was saying that maybe I should not be smoking, or if that I should that a dream about Carl Jung meant that I should look into Carl. I don't know. Do you people? Maybe some of you students, if you go to some of your courses in miracles or some of your the local tarot reading places, maybe some of you students can answer that for me, because we all talk about Carl Jung in dreams, but what does it mean when Carl Jung is in your dream? Has anybody ever considered that? Any of you out there? Leave me a little comment down here if you know about it, or bring it up in class. Now, on to the course. What we're going to be discussing, and I want to say hello to my good friend Kevin Trudeau. He was there at that thing, and he was just so handsome out there, and he tells you all about how to live healthy and stuff, and how you should smoke organic cigarettes. Now, we are going to be discussing this year in the special class, and this is not that does not mean, students, that you're special students, as that you are the small bus. Now, some people say that small bus means something bad, and of course some people think that all the public school kids are basically on a small bus. Well, Dewey and hockey sticks on that, because we are going to be talking about some exciting stuff. Like I said, the topic of the course is the boring and irrelevant in literature. So now if you come to class and you bring up something relevant, something logically consistent, something morally appropriate, something that gives a basis to a sensible worldview, I'm going to knock your grade down. You probably won't pass the class. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Because that's not what we're studying. That's not what we're about. We need freedom. We need freedom from all constraints. And as many of my students have so gracefully learned through my inculcation, don't ever accept what anyone ever tells you to do. I think Jean-Paul Sartre said that one time. He said, don't listen to anyone else's rules on how to live, and that you're wearing an existential mask across your face. Of course, one of my smart-ass students, Jay, he came in and said, well, then we shouldn't accept what Jean-Paul Sartre says, because we would be accepting his existential mask. And I told that student to get out in the hallway, and that he was going to have detention. And so what we're going to do in this class is, let's say we're going to take a great piece of literature, the Odyssey. And we're not going to read the Odyssey. What we're going to do is we're going to read the footnotes. This one happens to have endnotes, and we're going to read the endnotes from start to finish. And we're going to do a gender and race and class analysis of the footnotes, and show how they are just all male dominated, and they're just biased against women. We don't see women doing these footnotes, do we? No, we don't. And we're going to spend the first half of the semester on the footnotes and the endnotes, and we're just going to analyze them and see how many of them are men's and how many of them are women's. And of course we're going to find that none of them are women's, as it's all just a male-dominated patriarchal control system. It's a control grid over your mind, intended to destroy your freedoms. So everybody come to class prepared, do your homework, and I'll see you there. Toodaloo.